Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope everyone's doing well. So back today quite soon again with another video, but this time I'm actually not continuing with my contest. The reason being, I've already done 3 chapters of that in a row, and I thought people might be getting sick of hearing me talk about myself. But I know I still have other people's questions to answer, the commenters, but I thought I would change it up finally and actually think about someone else, believe it or not. So today I'm joining another contest. This is a contest entry for the 9th Circle, and that is of course Bill from the US. So I know a lot of people whose channels I watch also follow Bill. He's from Utah in the US, and he is quite recent to YouTube, I think, but he's already achieved that milestone of 200 subscribers, so congratulations, Bill. It's really well deserved, and I think you deserve to have a lot more followers, because if people aren't familiar with Bill, he's very knowledgeable about all forms of extreme metal and also likes other styles of related kind of extreme music like punk and industrial, all sorts of weird stuff. But yeah, and on top of that, he's a top bloke. So if you're not subscribed, go and do that now. Subscribe to his channel. I'll leave a link in the description. And this is going to be my entry for him. So what he's asked us to do in order to celebrate this milestone is answer 2 questions. So the first being, show the 2 most prized items in your collection, and they can be anything. And the second question is, explain why you still continue to collect physical media in this day and age. So I'm going to break that down. So first question, show the 2 most prized items in your collection. The 2 that I'm going to show initially, I've already shown in another contest entry for Johnny Mac, which was box sets in your collection. So there's going to be some duplication. As a result of that, I'm actually going to show 4 or 5 things, if that's acceptable, to just change it up for the people who have already seen the first 2 things. But anyway, yep, so one of the most prized items in my collection is definitely this. This is the Avulsed Death Generation box set, which was released as part of their crowdfunding campaign. Is that what they call it? Yeah. So as you can see here, it's quite a substantial box with the logo, nice porous glossy surface, and yep, it comes in a box like that. So if you're not familiar, Avulsed is a brutal death metal band from Spain, playing very old school death metal surrounding all those good old topics like gore and zombies. Yeah, it's just very honest, brutal death metal. I really like it, very down-tuned, very heavy and extremely guttural and varied vocals from lead vocalist Dave Rotten. So they issued this as part of their 25-year anniversary. Yeah, it says 1991 to 2016, 25 years, a life of death. Yep, so what this contains, I'll just show you quickly after removing the lid. Yep, is essentially a release in various formats. And what it has is, it's sort of like a greatest hits compilation of all of their songs, but what makes it special is the fact that they've done re-recordings of all those greatest hits with a guest vocalist from another band on each song. So there's so many guests on this from bands like Paganizer, Mortician, Incantation, and you have a total of 18 tracks actually, one of which was never released before. That was Red Viscera Serology, I think. Yeah, so 18 re-recordings of greatest hits, and then for the purists, they also include the original album version, so you get to hear both versions, which is cool. So I won't pull all of this apart in too much detail because it will take too long, but here it is on CD in a box set, so 2 CDs. It also comes on this double cassette deck, and as you can see, because I don't have a tape player, I haven't opened it yet, but for now it will be a collector's item. But if I ever get a tape deck, yeah, I'll definitely play it. Also comes with a photo of the band, which is signed by each member, so that's very cool. In addition to a sticker, Avulsed Death Metal 1991, a patch of Death Generation, a badge, which is cool, and there was also a t-shirt, but it came in the extra large size, which is just way too big to me. It's like a muumuu, so I actually gave that to my brother, who's a bit taller and broader shouldered. Even though he's not really a fan of, he kind of likes death metal, but anyway, he wears it, so that's cool. And then it also comes on vinyl as well. So again, you get the guest vocalist recordings and the re-recordings, and it comes on this quite nice colored vinyl. So olive green, which is splattered, and I think the other one is dark green from memory. But since this is a show and tell of sorts, I will show you. Yep, and the other one on dark green. So very nice. And I do listen to this once in a while. I should listen to it more often, but it's one of those things as a box set, you tend to just leave it to the side as a collector's item, but I am one of those people. I believe in when you buy something, you should play it. Just don't leave it on a shelf looking pretty. But yeah, definitely one of my most prized items because it's just such an exquisite package containing so many items. Yeah, and it's a great introduction to the band. I think you can't get this officially because it's part of the crowdfunding campaign, but if you happen to come across this, it's a really good greatest hits to start with for Revolt. Yeah. So like I said, I've shown this in Johnny Mac's entry, but that was a long time ago, so some of you may not have seen that. So that's the first item, the Evolv's Death Generation box set. Really cool artwork too. Okay. Now, another really prized item in my collection is this box set, which is Cannibal Corpse's 15-year killing spree, which was released in 2003 initially. And the funny thing about this is, when I saw it at the time when it was released in Australia, I sort of hesitated on it, and that was the CD box set version, and I didn't end up buying it. But then a few years ago, this version was released by a company in Hong Kong exclusively for delivery to Asian countries, I think. So I decided to jump on this because I missed out on the first time. But you can see it's a very nice spined box set. It came a bit bent, unfortunately. But what this is, how many do you get? Four vinyls inside. Yeah, and essentially it's a compilation of greatest hits from Cannibal Corpse. So starting from their first album, Eaten Back to Life, until their most recent album at the time, which was Gore Obsessed and what's the EP that came after? Worm Infested. But then it also includes some really cool bonus stuff like the Skull Full of Maggots demo and the recordings for Created to Kill, which was of course the pre-production recordings of the Vile album when Chris Barnes was still the vocalist, and that contained his different lyrics and vocal patterns. So very interesting to hear as a fan. And it also includes some other demos from more recent albums, in addition to some covers by The Accused, Creator, and Razor. So a lot of stuff in here. Now, I won't pull the whole lot out here because there's quite a lot, but just to give you a brief idea. Wow. Okay, so there's a booklet. I won't show you all of this, but just to give you an idea with photos and lyrics and information, which is cool. And so with the music, it consists of 4 albums, and you get these kind of compilation artworks from various covers. So here we have, on this example, Eaten Back to Life, Worm Infested, Gallery of, I can't say the word because the video will get censored otherwise. And yeah, they all come on this nice splattered vinyl. Yeah, red and black. So they all look like that. And I won't show you all of the covers because there's just so many, but as you can see here, each one is different. So very nice. And yeah. Yep, so really nice box set. And now I'm just gonna have to go to the trouble of getting the actual records back in. Yep, so if you're a huge fan of Cannibal Corpse, this is definitely an essential item, and it consists mostly of the earlier stuff, which is cool, even though I like all of Cannibal Corpse's material, but definitely one of the most prized items in my collection. Cannibal Corpse 15-year killing spree. So as people may know, I did show those in Johnny Mac's box set contest video, so just in case there's no duplication and people want to see something different, I'll just show a few more items. Another item which is definitely prized is this CD copy of Graveland's Memory and Destiny. And if you've heard me talking about this Polish black metal band just recently, you'll know that this is one of my favorite releases by them. So yeah, it comes in this A5 cover, which is unusual, but cool. And you get this nice artwork here, as well as a booklet. Yep, with pictures and all of the lyrics and so on, so that's very nice. And yeah, I think this is one of the most grandiose Viking-esque albums they've ever done, but this one and Creed of Iron are my favorite. But yeah, and interesting story, where I got this, it was actually in Japan in a small record shop called, in a small southern island of Japan called Takamatsu. And in Japan they're massively into rock and metal vinyl. And then I bought some secondhand Anvil records in really good condition, and then I remember just stumbling across this rack and went, wow, look at that, it all consists of black metal, so absolutely fantastic. That's where I got this. So Graveland, Memory and Destiny. And this one, it says here, limited to 2,000 copies. So that's definitely quite rare. So certainly a prized item. Okay, another one is one I just picked up very recently, in fact. So you may have seen this in a recent collection update I did, but that was Summon's Fire Turns Everything Black. So if you're not familiar, Summon were a US black metal band from Lansing, Michigan, and they're one of my favorite underrated black metal bands of all time. And you may have heard me say that this demo, I've always loved it. It's my favorite one by them. So I was absolutely thrilled when Nuclear War Now released it on vinyl just recently. So yeah, as I mentioned, I had the CD. I've had the CD for over 20 years now, but got this one just recently. It doesn't have, yeah, it's got kind of refined original artwork, but really cool. Go and watch my collection update to hear my description of the music. But if you like bands like Early Immortal and Early Marduk, you must check out Summon, especially this release. So it has the Fire Turns Everything Black demo, which is what this is named after, but it also contains a bonus Devourer of Souls demo from 1992. And you may have heard me say that that one isn't as impressive because I think that's actually, sorry, Fire Turns Everything Black, this one, the really good one, is from 1995, but they include an earlier demo, Devourer of Souls from 92. That's when the recording quality was really bad and they sounded like a messy version of Beherit mixed with Deicide, so I wasn't into that much. But the actual Fire Turns Everything Black demo, an absolute must if you're a fan of Early Immortal and Early Marduk, just absolutely classic. And it also contains an inner sheet showing photos of the band, which is cool because this band is quite obscure. So for those who haven't seen it, yep, inner sheet with photos of the band, very cool. Corpse paint, fire breathing in the forest, you know it's awesome. And the actual vinyl itself is colored, which is nice. I don't have a problem with colored vinyls. In fact, I quite like them when they suit the artwork. So this one comes in this kind of marbleized splattered dark green. But yeah, so the reason why this is one of my most prized items is because I never assumed that it would be released on vinyl, and then Nuclear War Now changed that, so that was absolutely brilliant. And hopefully they do it with some other Summon albums. I remember the friend from Thailand who actually sold me this. Ages ago, he had a copy of their debut album, Dark Descent of Fallen Souls, on vinyl, and stupidly I didn't jump on that, but I will in future, and hopefully they release all of the albums on vinyl, including the one which I don't own by them at all, which is No Thoughts from the Sky. Yeah. All right, and Bill also mentioned, he said you can show other items like movies, toys and everything. I don't collect toys, but on that topic, it just reminded me of this. A good friend of mine gave me this some years ago. He's an American guy who was living in Japan, and he picked this up. This is from the Puppet Master action figure series, and this one is Evil Spirit Totem. So it's kind of like this alien slash predator kind of character with this, what would you call that? Gauntlet, saber, what is it? Sorry, I've had a mind warp, as Chris Barnes would say. But yeah, this is really cool because it glows in the dark, especially this. So I know some people think, oh, it's silly to own toys when you're an adult, but my friend said to me, oh, this reminded me of you because you like Norwegian black metal and it's very grandiose and everything. So that was really cool, and I love how it glows in the dark. So you see here, you can also get other characters from the series. All right, so there we have 5 treasured or valued items from my collection. Like I said, the reason I showed 5 is because the first 2 I have shown before in another video, but hope you enjoyed that show and tell. Now, coming to Bill's second question, he said he would like us to know from us why we still collect physical music in this day and age. And for me, I'm sure the answer will be similar for a lot of people, is when I really like a band, I want to see the complete, cohesive, coherent package. Like, of course, the music is the most important thing, but when it's presented visually, like you see the cover art, the booklet, the lyrics, the photos of the band, I think it presents it from a holistic perspective. So you get to see everything. I think, of course, music is ultimately the most important thing. That's what matters. But sometimes if you download or just listen to music on iTunes and you don't get an insight into the band or what they're about, so especially with the kind of music that I like black metal and death metal, I think the visual aspect plays a big role into playing with the music. So yeah, that's why I like it. And it's funny, someone in my family used to always mock me. They said, oh, why don't you just download it or, upload MP3s. And I said, oh, well, I'm one of those people. I like the lyrics, the booklet, the photos. And they said, so you're one of those people. It's like, yes, I am actually, and I'm quite proud of it. But in addition to that, the other reason is, if you just download music, yeah, sure, you can get a lot of it, and sure, you can access it easily. But the point is, I always find when you actually buy something, it's like an investment, and you value it and you treasure it more. Like it's like an investment. So even if you, like, for example, buy an album that you don't particularly like the guy said in the French black metal documentary, Bleu Blanc Satan, maybe you'll give it another chance because you've invested in it. And so it encourages you to spend more time with the album and give it a proper opportunity. Whereas I think if you download a lot of music or have MP3s, it's very easy to just listen to a couple of tracks and go, yeah, that's pretty good, or not very good, and dismiss it. Whereas if you've actually bought something, you invest in it more. Yeah, so I think I've said enough about that, and I don't want to repeat myself. So hope you enjoyed the answers, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this entry, Bill. So like I said, Bill is a top bloke, and he really deserves a lot more subscribers. So hopefully this contest will boost him up a bit. And yeah, go and place an entry yourself. You can check out the link in my description. So for the next video, guys, I'm going to go back to the Q&A, but don't worry, that will probably be the last episode where I answer commenters' questions. And thank you very much for all the positive feedback I've got from those Q&As. I felt a bit self-conscious at first, thinking, oh, people are going to think it's so self-indulgent, but people have been saying they've enjoyed my answers, so thanks very much. All right, so congratulations once again, Bill, and thanks a lot everyone for watching and your support of the channel, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Cheers, bye.